Okay, so this is how it looks. The big picture right here is how it looks on when you open the program. And at the top left corner, there's a section where you can select your devices. So you can make an app based on Apple, iPad, Android, phones, and tablets. And then at the top right-hand corner, there's two icons. One is exporting and one is sharing. With the exporting, you can export your app in CSS, JavaScript, and HTML. And for sharing, you can share your project easily with URL, email, and texting.
So once you start getting to the process of building your app, the app uses a page-by-page UI design, meaning that all the apps utilize different pages that show all of the UI elements that you want to interact with and all of the different concepts that you want to involve with your app. So the page system involves, as you can see, a little bar at the left upper hand corner of the app builder that lists all the pages that are involved. And you can see that it's also in a drop-down format. So when you click on each page, it'll take you to that page in the main app building frame, and it'll show you all the UI elements that are involved in here. So for example, the page as labeled practice, when you click on it, it'll show that these are the following UI elements that are used in that page, including a heading, a button bar, some spacers for just visual purposes, and other headings and buttons. So you can actually manage the pages individually, so you can make sure that each page looks exactly how you want it to look like. So they can be linked to each other using UI elements. So how they function is basically, if you had a UI element such as a button, you can click on that button, and it'll take you from that page to another page, and everything is interconnected within your app. The way this is done is to make the linking process easier, and it's done using the routing URL that you can see there and the title of the page. Additionally, header buttons, where the option is there, is just another UI element that's always present on that app, and we'll see how it looks like later on, but you can do it on a page-by-page basis as well. Not only can you manage the pages, but you can also manage the individual user interface elements as well. So a big type of this section allows you to click on each user interface, and it'll bring up another menu to the on the right hand of the page that shows the type you want to use it, whether you want to use it for linking to another page or linking to a URL link. And it'll also allow you to edit the text within that and edit the style as well. And the style can be the shape, what type of shape it's going to be, the color, the size, and the font of the user interface element.
Okay, so Ionic Creator can take in some languages, and the main ones include CSS, JavaScript, and HTML. However, you can also add Angular to add directives, which adds dynamic to your app by placing specific behaviors to the UI elements.
As you can see here, here's an example of the screenshots from the UI toolkit. And you can see that there's a variety of different UI elements that they let you use in Ionic Creator. You have some of your staples, such as just text in the form of headings, paragraphs, and you can see to the side that there's the inputs and form places so the user can input data or type stuff in. And there's also an HTML UI element that allows you to just take a clip from a website, or you can program an individual website screen using HTML, and there's also ways to interact, such as the buttons, the sliders, and a drop-down menu and other list UI elements, and you have everything you need to build any type of app on a mobile device that you would feel interested in.
Okay, so some companies that use Ionic Creator include like Intel, Target Apps, Dell, and IBM. So these companies that many of us know indicates that Ionic Creator is not just for beginners, but it can also be used professionally.
So using Ionic Creator, we wanted to build something of our own, so we decided to make a digital study guide for the AP Computer Science Principles course, and specifically for what they do on the code.org format on that website. So the app, here's a little screenshot for the app that we built, and we use Ionic Creator to just make a studying app. So we'll take you step by step on everything that we did to make this app.
Yeah, so as Emmanuel mentioned earlier, we wanted to focus our app on making a study guide for APCSP students, and we decided that we'll focus on code.org, especially because that's the main platform that many APCSP students use. And so we decided to focus on the 5 categories based that is discussed about in code.org, which includes turtle movement, control, variable, function, and math.
And when we started planning things out, we wanted to write everything out that we wanted to do and make sure that we had everything represented through the prototyping. And the prototyping stage did require a lot of trial and error, but we'll also take you through what the app looks like so you can start prototyping with us as well.
So with the brainstorming stage, we wanted to make an app that allows APCSP students to determine where they are in the course and how much they understand the course.
So some of the ideas that we were implementing when we wanted to make this type of app was creating a coding studio that let you practice with the commands that APCSP covers, which would be in JavaScript. We would try to input a profile system so we could have personalized learning and the user can see how much they've covered and they could check some items off of the list that they still need to practice. And we also want to include multiple categories for the student to focus on. So if they are struggling on control commands, then they can easily use the app to focus on those type of problems. And if they were feeling comfortable with math, they didn't have to keep practicing that if they were already comfortable.
So in the beginning of our presentation, we showed a small clip of us using Ionic Creator to create our introduction app, and that was us trying to figure out, trying to understand how the elements work and how we connect each of the UI elements.
So now that we got into prototyping, here we have some ideas from our main bar of using planning, practice, and progress. As you can see here, we have one UI element represented, which is a 3-option button bar that is always present no matter what page you're on. And you can see that when we started putting the work in, we wanted to make a page for each individual question. So there's about 15 questions total in our study guide so far. So when we started prototyping, this is an example of when we were experimenting with what we wanted to do. And here we have represented the heading, which we just left as heading, a button bar showing different buttons all put together, and you can click each individually, and you can set each one to take you to a different page or perform a different function. We even tried working with the slider bar, which lets you put different images into one space, and you just slide through it. Here, for our screen grab, we just had one page that's purple, one page that's yellow, and that's like mid-swipe, so you can see what it kind of looks like. And we also had other UI elements that we just wanted to see how it looks like on screen, such as the range and the toggle. So the way that we decided to set up our pages is that we wanted to focus on different ways to represent the question through text and pictures. So we wanted to have our prompt first, which was done with using a heading. The information was done either using the HTML element or an image, and the answers were all represented with buttons. So as you can see here, one of our questions is, what does this parameter do, which would include the command in JavaScript move forward 50, and that is a turtle type of question. And when you click on an answer, it'll either take you to another page that just said correct or it said wrong. And we made sure to program each page individually to make sure that everything worked, and we checked everything. So now you can check out what your app looks like using this link. So you can try it out and just see what we decided to do using Ionic Creator. And it'll just take you to a website that has the app here. You can either toggle it to represent an iOS or Android, whatever you're familiar with. So we'll go. Oh, here. Yeah, so you have Android. And you can see here that we have different elements for the planning. So if you had a new goal, maybe I want to practice my math skills or turtle programming or control variables, you can easily just log it over here and see what you need to practice. Then you would go over to the practice section, and you could scroll down here and check out all of the different questions we have. So let's just take one of the questions we have available. So in turtle programming, number 3, what does this parameter do? And does anyone know the answer to this one? All right, let's try it out. That was wrong.
It's okay, it's okay.
But let's try the next one. That was wrong as well. And keep going to specify. Correct. So yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. And we could look at other questions as well, such as this math level 2 question. So how do you represent v is not equal to 10 in code, or variable is not equal to 10? And b, this one, which is not here. And that's correct. And then going down to functions. How do you call a function named draw square function? Correct. Yep. And then after you're done practicing, you can just go over to the progress section, and you can search results to see which one you practice, and just check them off if you've done them right or not. And you can just go back and continue practicing. So how do you set the variable? Correct. So now that we showed you what we made, we want to try making an app with you guys here all together. So considering that it's pretty early in the morning and not all of us have been through Scale enough, we don't have enough information to make a digital tour of Scale, but we will try to make a website directory. And we just want to invite everyone here, if you have any websites that either showcase your portfolio or your business, we would like to invite you to participate so we can help this be a networking opportunity for everyone and to share your information with everyone here. I have it in here. So here we have another tab with a fresh account that has no projects, and we're going to go through the process of what it looks like to build an app.
Yeah, so this is the screen that we showed earlier in the presentation. So this is what the first page will look like once you log into your Ionic Creator account. And then here you will click New Project. And there will be a pop-up screen, and what should we name this? Do you guys have any idea what should we name this?
Just you.
Okay, project type, we will choose.
Yeah, okay. Or we could just use side menu one.
Okay, we'll choose the side menu one because we'll make a web directory. And then.
Yeah, over there you can just change the version of Ionic that you're using. 2 options, we'll just use the standard format.
Then once you click Create Project, it will lead you to the creating space. And then we'll use Android this time since we used iPhone for the earlier one that we did. Okay, so here, since we're doing a website directory, we want to make our pages suitable for the occasion, so we don't really want to make it cart. We'll change the name of this page to maybe business?
Yeah. Maybe
business? Okay. So in order to do so, you just click on the UI element, and then you go to the right-hand bar where there's a section called text, and then from here you can change the content. So we can type in business here. And once we do so, we also have to correlate it to the actual page itself because it doesn't change the name of the page automatically. So we'll click on the page right here that says cart, And we'll change the name of the page to business.
Yeah. All right, and we'll repeat the same process for other ones. So instead of cloud, maybe we want to just do some casual websites that you guys have. Casual. And after that, we would have to go over to our menu list item and change this to casual as well. All right. And what if we have another idea, we have another type of page that we want to link to, then we can easily just add a new page. We could have it be, just click this button and load up a blank page, and we could have maybe a portfolio page. And now that we have a new page, we want to add that to our menu as well. So to do this, we would have to add another list item, and that would involve using the drag and drop feature. Does anyone want to try the drag and drop just to see how easy it is? Just come up and try it out over here. Any volunteers?
Oh, thank you.
All right, so all you have to do is just click on list item over here and then drag it all the way to the app builder, and you just, yeah, and then just let go. And now we have a new UI element that you can just easily change up. And now, and to match it with our portfolio page, you can just change the name of the text content to portfolio. All right, good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now I want to like ask.
All right, so now that we have our pages set up, we can start loading it up with the pages. So let's start with our business page, and we're going to start by setting up how our app is going to look like, and that can involve using a heading and a button just to take you to that link. So does anyone have a website they would like to
Share with us?
share with us?
A business or a company website, maybe? Thank you.
Mobile.
Clinic.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh,
Thank
thank you.
Right.
You can get the image for it.
Thank you so much. Then because we have an image, we can actually try, instead of using a button, we can use an image to represent that. And
once we click on the image, we'll make it so that once we click on the image, it'll lead us to the website.
So you can just copy image address and then upload an image. URL. And then we could just select this. And then it's going to upload by itself, and once we're done, the image will be represented right here. And we can just change the heading to represent what the name of this website is, Mobile PC Clinic.
And then in order to delete an element, you just simply have to click the cross button. Okay.
So now let's have it so that this UI element can link to the website. So once we just have to change the link type and change it to the URL, we can go over to the website, just copy the URL, and then paste it right here. And that's it. So you can go to the preview mode to see what users so far. So in this business page, all you have to do is just click on it, and it'll bring up that website.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on. Does anyone have any casual websites that they would like to suggest to put into our networking app?
Yeah. YouTube?
Yes, YouTube. All right. And then Does anyone want to try the drag and drop feature once more and
maybe connect it to the URL too?
yeah, you want to come? All right. All right. So all you have to do is just drag and drop that heading button and that button.
Button. Yeah. And then drag the button. Yes.
All right.
Okay. And then maybe change the heading. Change the heading to right here to maybe YouTube. Okay. And then now, do you want to try going to the YouTube website so we can get the URL? And then click on the URL and just copy. Okay. And then click on the button. Yeah. And then change the link to the URL section right here. Yeah, it's the second button to the left. Yes. Yeah, that's it. And then try going to the preview section. And then once you click on it, it should lead to the YouTube. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Yeah, so it's thank you. Yeah, so it really shows how easy this developing program is, and you really don't need a programming background in order to create an app using Ionic Creator.
All right. So let's have one more website. Does anyone have a portfolio or just a website for themselves in order that you would probably send to an employer or something? Does anyone want to share that with this presentation today? Yeah.
LACCD.edu.
Oh, just the Los Angeles Community College District. All right, I guess we can use this.
Okay, do you want to use an image or a button?
Yeah. Well, since there is an image, I guess we can use an image. So we'll go heading, and then we'll drag another image in. We'll go see if we can copy this. Oh. And just upload image. Browse. Copy and paste. Select. And
LACCD portal?
The LACCD portal. All right, thank you. And if you want to add a description, you can always just drag other elements right underneath. And the content part is pretty large, and you can just put the portal link to the Los Angeles Community College District. And if you want to bold something, you can just put 2 stars in between, 2 asterisks, and bold.
Okay, so let's go through this from the home screen. So once we go to the preview, we can use the sidebar, and then we can go to the portfolio. We forgot to connect the URL to the page. Okay, that's important. We'll get back to that right now.
So yeah, because portfolio.
Okay, so we needed to connect the UI elements with the pages. So we will get the routing URL from the page.
And then if you need to link anything, there's just a drop-down menu just for that. So now let's go back to the home page. And click.
And once we go to the portfolio, it should lead you to the page that we just created. And once we click on the image, I don't think we connected the URL.
Oh.
Okay, well, we forgot to connect the URL, so we need to do that. So once again, we go to the district and then get the URL, and then we connect it to the links.
All right, so let's try again from the top.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
It works. Okay. Okay, from that, do we want to do the sharing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now that we're done, we still have our barren homepage. So we should try decorating it a little. Does anyone have any ideas of what we should add to our homepage?
Maybe our title of this
Yeah.
web directory, scale 18x web directory, maybe?
And you can always customize what the font would look like. So here we can change the size, make it smaller or larger, and you can also change the font weight, make it pretty more bold, and the color as well. And how it can align on the page. And maybe, if this is the type of app that we're going to try to make, we can add a profile system, and they have a lot of UI elements down here that can help you do that. Just side in. And this can show, maybe an idea you would have is to show all the users that have websites on here. So on the home page you can maybe have an avatar for what each user would look like and their name to the side. And you can just put multiple of them down here. So now that we have a solid app built, we can try sharing it with other people. So we just go over here to the share button, and you can have our URL right here. So if anyone would like to see or try out this app, you can just copy this URL right here onto your device and see if it works on your own computer or phone.
Can we increase it?
Oh yeah, let me see if we can get away.
We can put it in our presentation, maybe?
Oh yeah.
Just put it here.
Oh. I was just checking for time. Yeah. All right. Yeah. And maybe if you want to try something out, we can see if the app will link the app to itself. So maybe we can go over here to, maybe this can qualify as business and add another link to it. So maybe we would just use a spacer here. And we can edit it, then add another heading. Just call it the directory. And we'll have a button right underneath it. And just link it to our website. So let's see if it works.
Does it? Oh.
And then directory. And
The
app linked itself to itself. and it linked itself to itself. All right, so we have that out of the way. So how's everyone's experience with the app so far? No problems, it's easy to use? All right.
Okay.
So if you ever want to just try it out on your own, you can always go on Ionic and see if you have any ideas that you just want to put in app form before you take it to a programming team, or if you want to make it a personal project just to see if it works in practice as it did in your head, then you can always use Ionic Creator for that purpose.
So this is the link to the Ionic Creator sign up page. So if you guys are interested in using the program.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's it. Thank you.
Any
And
questions?
does anyone have any questions?
Thank you.
Yes.
No, it's actually free for any time. It doesn't have a limit to the free version.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a free trial system. Once you have an account, you can use it for as long as you need. Yes?
So, thanks for the presentation, great job.
Thank you.
In your research on this topic, I know you looked at companies that use it, but did you come across any specific app that uses Ionic?
Actually, no. We were just researching the Ionic Creator website, and they were just some lists of companies that they introduced as using Ionic Creator, but we haven't looked further into the app itself. But we just kind of realized that those companies use it, and yeah.
Gentleman in the back.
What's the process to take an app that you start with Creator and customize it
Oh.
for maybe a more complex application somewhere
Oh,
else?
yeah. So you can do that with the export feature. So let's go take it back here to the app that we built. And if you want to start using the app, all you have to do is just export it. You can do it in a download zip file. And once you download it, you can bring the app design to another text editor of your choice and just import it there, and you can work on it from there. And all the code that is either exported in either HTML or CSS will be shown in the zip file of that project, and then you can just edit from there.
Yeah, and it could be like submitted to like App Store, like an app store.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Cordova is another open source framework, and it just means that this app was built using other open source apps. Yes.
When you were in your first one, you were training, was there any way to link that to storage that you can go back and look at the stats before you go on answers, or is there any?
Oh. Yeah, because this is just a prototype, we don't have a way to store the variables or any of the information that you input. So if you wanted to translate that to a full app, then that would come into the exporting format and building that from the prototype up. So this is just all about the user interface part of it and seeing how things link together. Yes?
Are there any components within Creator that allow you to connect with
Third-party APIs?
For instance, you wanted to tap into a database on the back end and stuff. Data from it and show it on it.
Well, I don't believe so, because most of these are just for the visual front, and that would pertain to more of the exporting it and translating it to a different text editor. But that's definitely something that could be done with the app later on once you continue to develop it, but I don't think that the Creator app has the capability for that.
Any more questions?
Yeah. All right. So hopefully we answered all your questions, and if you want to get in contact with either of us, here's our contact information up on the projector. And
It's a little bit, we kind of ended a little short, but hope you guys enjoyed the presentation, and thank you guys for coming.